Welcome back to Between the Lines on Sports Radio 810. It is time for our weekly chat with Chiefs quarterback Alex Smith here at the University of Kansas Hospital Training Center, where the Chiefs train every day. Alex, how you doing? 5-0. Everything's great, huh?
Yeah, doing well. Doing well.
I mean, this is kind of getting a life of its own now. We're down to 3 teams in the league that haven't lost, and everybody's starting to compare those teams to one another. You guys don't get caught up in any of that. I'm not hearing anybody really in here thinking about that or talking about that.
Yeah, I think we're doing a great job, just kind of flying under the radar, keeping our keeping our nose clean, just going to work. Not focusing on anything that's going on outside of this building. Focusing on getting better every week and whatever it takes to get a win.
So it basically becomes the Raiders, and it's shocking to everyone in Kansas City. It's been years. I think 6 in a row the Raiders have won here at Arrowhead. We can't believe it. We don't know how that's happened. We kind of need that to end. You're on board with that?
Yeah, I heard that stat this morning too. Had no idea about it. I think 2006 was the last year. So, yeah, I mean, these are huge games. I mean, division games. For me, new to the division, but I grew up on the West Coast. I grew up in San Diego, so I know about the AFC West, and I'm pumped for it.
Well, that's where I'm taking you today. I told you we were going to have a little fun today. That's where I'm taking you. You're a West Coast guy. Yeah, I assume you grew up a Charger fan. I looked at your high school today. That can't be a couple of miles from where the stadium is.
No, not very far at all. Yeah, right down the road.
I mean, right there. So you probably grew up a Charger fan.
Yeah.
What did the Raiders mean to you growing up a Chargers fan? That's a pretty good rivalry too.
Yeah, huge rivalry in state. Yeah, big deal. I remember it really well. I remember, obviously as a kid, I remember all the problems you used to hear about after Raiders come to town, and all kinds of stuff happened, especially in the stands. And obviously a big rivalry, heated. Yeah.
What was it like sharing a city with the Raiders? I don't know very much about San Francisco. I've been to a Niners game there, I've been to a Raiders game, but I've not spent a lot of time in the city. I don't know that sports culture at all, but it seems to me that that's a 49er town. And you spend so much time with them. Do the Raiders, back page news there?
No, it's very pocketed.
Really?
You take the entire Bay Area, kind of Northern California in general. There's like little pockets. This is kind of Raider territory. This is Niner territory. It's funny, and no real logic behind any of it.
Right.
Just kind of funny. The Raiders do they have camp up in Napa, so there's kind of a pocket up there for them, which you would kind of think is Niner territory.
Right.
But, it's funny, just you never know. But obviously, we played them every preseason when I was there. So very, very familiar with them.
But if you're a fan, of the Raiders and the Niners are going great, does the Raiders become?
I'm sure there's some people that switch, but it's pretty. I think it's pretty divided. You're either one or the other.
Always wondered. I've spent my whole life here. We've never had 2 teams, which is kind of a good thing. I know exactly where I'm going with this thing. All right, I want to ask you about the Denver-Dallas game last week. Tony Romo had 500 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, and an interception. When you see something like that, how fun, how crazy is that? I mean, you've been in some shootouts?
Crazy game. I mean, 48-51. I still haven't seen it. I just seen some of the highlights and saw the stats. But
is it fun as a quarterback when you get in a shootout? I mean, what are you feeling? You've been in
those are crazy games. Yeah, I think the only one that comes to mind for me that's somewhat similar to that was just the playoff game versus the Saints. High scoring affair, back and forth, a lot of lead changes, especially in the fourth quarter. They're fun when you win. They're fun when you come out on top. But I'm sure it's tough to handle. You got to be able to press delete in the middle of the season and kind of move on, not let it have the letdown of such a tough loss. You probably thought you were going to win that game so many different times. Had it won, you thought, and then to lose it there in the end against the Broncos, who have been playing really well this season. So I'm sure that one's tough to take a little bit, especially for Tony and that offense that did play so well. And he put up 48 points in the NFL. I mean, your chances of winning, I'm sure 99%. It's pretty high. Right. So, I'm sure that's a tough one to take.
Okay,
tough to swallow.
So what kind of guy are you? If you had a game like that, and let's say, the Chiefs just played somebody, and that hasn't happened obviously this year, and hopefully it won't, where they just can't stop anybody, and you've had a monster day, you racked up all these numbers, you have 1 pick and 5 touchdowns and 500 yards. Do you go home at night and lay your head on the pillow and think about the pick? Or do you think about, so you're that guy?
Yeah, probably.
Is every quarterback built that way?
Yeah, I think so. It's just such a competitive deal. I mean, especially I think quarterbacks are so competitive. They're perfectionists. I think for the most part, we're just, I know that's what this last Sunday, there was more than one, but, a ton of, all you're thinking about are the plays you miss, and even after walking away after a win, you're on the plane and you're kind of just frustrated, because you know you're so much better than that and you can do so much better. So I'm sure, for him, playing the game he did, I think, set franchise records for Tony in about every category, and I'm sure in his head he's thinking about the one play. But once again, he put up 48 points. This is a team game, and quarterbacks get a lot of attention, but obviously he played pretty dang good.
I know you guys really want to get better offensively, and you talk about that after every game. Hey, there's room for improvement, room for improvement. I don't think you're going to stat out a whole bunch of stuff this year. That's not the way the Chiefs play games, but every time you've had to do something. Now this past week, you found yourself behind, and you got the drive, and you got the penalty call, and you got the touchdown. The offense has come through it every time this year. I mean, you certainly you're aware of that.
Yeah, I think when we've had to, whether down or up, this last week, when we've had to make plays, we've made them. We've had to have drives, we've made them, and I kind of think that speaks to the guys we got, on this team, but then on offense. But then when you do see that, you kind of part of you's like, let's do this every time,
right?
That's kind of what you're thinking. But you're right. I mean, and for us on offense, and for me especially, stats are such a big deal now with the fantasy world, and it's easy to get sucked into ratings and QBR, and I don't even know QBR at this point. For me, I think the big ones is offense. You're looking at points. We got to get points on the board. That's our job. And first downs, yardage, whatever. I mean, that stuff's nice to look at, but we're trying to get points, and then we're trying to protect the football. I mean, those two things. How can we score as many points as possible without turning the ball over? And those are the two big stats. And those are areas that are really focused for us, and we need to continue to, that's what you're working towards.
So if there was fantasy points for quarterbacks for winning and losing, I got you down as winning 25 of your last 30. Is that right? What if there's like 20?
I don't even know. Is that right?
I think that's right. Yeah. I think you've won 25 of your last 30 starts. What if there's like 20 bonus points on that? I mean, that's the top of everybody's list, man.
Well, if I was playing fantasy football, I'd want it. Yeah. Right. But, it's fun though. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I got a lot of friends and family play fantasy football, so for me, it's a popular thing. It adds to the popularity of the sport. So, I don't play fantasy football, but I'm a baseball fan. I grew up playing fantasy baseball, so I can't really talk.
Well, you know how much winning you've been doing. It's been a long time since you've had any lack of success.
Yeah, let's keep it going.
I feel great.
Yeah. I mean, when you're playing once a week, I've said this before. I mean, you're putting in so much time every week. New game. I mean, whatever. Everything's coming in new. You're really kind of just engulfing yourself. This entire team does it, in just preparation that week, and you're doing it just to try to get that W. And it's awesome when you get the W. It's awesome, and when you don't, it sucks. I mean, just to speak frankly, I mean, it does. It's not fun, and so that's kind of the nature of this game.
All right, couple quickies here to have fun. You got your economics degree in 2 years?
Yep.
In 2 years.
Yeah.
Should I stay in the markets or get out?
Don't ask me that.
Down 700 points in the last couple of weeks.
I wish I knew.
No advice there?
Yeah.
Should we borrow another $1 trillion and raise the debt ceiling or not?
Debt ceiling, yes.
Yes?
Yeah, let's not default.
Keep the thing going, don't default. Okay. All right, and I read that Bill Walton and Dennis Hopper both went to Helix.
That's right.
San Diego. All right. You met those guys? You ever had any events with them?
Bill Walton, never Dennis Hopper. Yeah, I met Bill Walton. Yeah.
Okay, what's he like?
Hilarious.
Yeah. Same thing you see.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He's great. He donated some stuff back to our school, mostly in the basketball department. But yeah, I've seen him, met him a few times.
And you played with Reggie. So
yeah, played with Reggie.
A lot of fame at that high school, man.
Yeah.
Do they?
A little bit.
Do they call you a lot? Do they ask you to do things? What do they?
Well, my dad was the principal for a long time, so yeah, there was a direct line there.
You're signing stuff and sending it to auctions.
Direct line.
The whole deal, right?
So yeah, I mean, you love giving back, and probably will do more even as I get older. I did a big chunk to Utah, and still kind of finishing that up. So at some point, yeah, I've done a lot at Helix, but probably will do more as I get older.
That's awesome. Good for you. Go get one Sunday. Have fun.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.